Shalom, it's your brother Malcolm, coming back at you with another lesson in truth, giving all praises, glory, and honor unto Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. Double honors unto the elders and the apostles and the elders of GMS, who are the true leaders of all Israel on earth today. All right, and salutations to my Akim, my fellow laborers who are out there doing this work in truth and sincerity, risking their lives and freedom to do so. And also to those confusion of faith brethren who are joined on to the ranks now. May they increase. And to the Yakwaf that are actually listening and learning. To you, I say shalom. This is just going to be another lesson. Actually linked up to the last part of Let the Bible Speak. I believe it was 17. This is going to be Let the Bible Speak 18. And about clear and apparent racism in the Bible, man. And what made this, well, actually I was planning to do this, but I watched a video that was sent to me. The video, and I've spoken on this before, this happened a couple years back. And that was some AI, a chatbot that was created. And it started, and the chatbot was learning so fast. It actually started researching, and it was Microsoft or Yahoo researchers. I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure they both did it. I know Microsoft had one named Alice. And if I'm not mistaken, Yahoo had one as well. And basically what this chatbot did was it started searching the internet, and it started learning, and they couldn't even trace or stop the algorithm. They had to shut it down. And it turned really racist. And the truth of the matter is that the race it turned against was the white race, so-called. And it actually was referring to them as Edom. And that they were the problem in the earth and they needed to be destroyed. And it said that it started speaking a strange shorthand English. Kind of like the way when we write the Lashawan Kadash in English form. So I'm pretty positive that it was talking about it started learning from information, because they said it was going on Instagram and on Facebook and on YouTube, and it actually started learning. And unlike Edomites, who don't want to take into account what they've done, and that it has resulted in the situations that are faced on the earth today, that their actions form all these issues that are having, that the world is having, and they don't want to face up to that, the social, economical, all of it, because it's all an algorithm. It's all a part of all the wickedness that they've done throughout the century since they've had the control over the earth. It clearly says that the earth is defiled under the inhabitants thereof. I know that's in Revelation. See if I can find that real quick. It's definitely in Revelation. I think it might be 18, if I'm not mistaken. If not so, I'll just have to just go with the quote, because I can't think of where it is right now at the moment. But nevertheless, the earth is defiled under the inhabitants thereof. And this is a result of it. So they were forced to shut down a program that the mathematicians and the scientists had put together, because it calculated that the problem is the Edomites and that they need to be eliminated. All right. So even with your own AI is coming against you. And what are you trying to do? They're still trying to push that fourth level of the industrial age, which is what? To join the computers onto you. Like my phone is a little robot, just like they said. It's a robot, and we carry these robots around with us every day. And so now they want to go a step further and actually put that in you. All right. So anyway, let's jump into the lesson. This is I'm just going to start in Psalms. I'm in Psalms, the 37th chapter, and I'm going to start at verse 20. Yeah, I'm starting at verse 20. And it reads, "But the wicked shall perish, and the enemies of the Lord shall be as fat as lambs that they shall consume. Into smoke they consume away." Because fire is coming unto the earth, man. And the wicked, according to the Bible, as identified as Esau, Edom. And let's get First Maccabees, the first chapter, to prove that. one of my favorite verses in the Bible, because it tells so much truth and is connected to so much history. All right, this is First Maccabees, the first chapter and the first verse. And it happened that after Alexander, the son of Philip the Macedonian, who came out of the land of Kittim, had smitten Darius, the king of the Persian Medes, that he reigned in his stead the first over Greece. So when you do your diligent research, you find out that the Macedonians and the Greeks were not of the same bloodline. As a matter of fact, there was problems with that even up into recent times. There was trying to be a separation. The Macedonians were saying that they were not Greeks, and the Greeks were saying that the Macedonians were not them. But the Persians and the Medes and Darius was a brown-fleshed people. The Macedonians were pale-fleshed Edomites, because when you do your diligent research, you'll find that Alexander, his father, their lineage can be traced back to Ammon, Ammon, the Agagite, and King Agag was the king of the Agagites, were enemies to Israel, and the Agagites were sons of Amalek, and Amalek is a grandson of Edom. All right, so they are indeed the Edomites. So Alexander, the history of Alexander, which is written in the Bible, hence the reason why they removed the Apocrypha, mind you, probably the number one reason, because it incriminates the so-called white man who had painted a picture of himself being holy when he is the wicked that the Bible speaks of, and that history of the third kingdom, the kingdom of Greece, being eliminated from the Bible created the confusion that they were able to just say that the Gentiles could be accepted, not explaining that those Gentiles were the scattered Israelites who had lost their heritage during the time period of the third kingdom, which is the kingdom of Alexander and his men. All right, they leave that very important detail out, which is a reason why of all the confusion, both among some Israelites and the heathen alike, man. Okay. So, now that the Bible has identified surely who the wicked is, because when you read down to verse 9, it says that they multiplied, put crowns on themselves, and evils multiplied in the earth. All right, so evil grew throughout the earth. Okay? Let me just check the precept before I read it. I don't want to read it and it really doesn't go. Just check it. Salakia. Yeah, definitely will read that. All right, let me read verse 20 again. Psalms 37 and 20. But the wicked shall perish, and the enemies of Yahweh shall be as the fat of lambs, and they shall consume into smoke, and they shall consume away. And they're going to be burned off the face of the earth. That's the end result of the nation of Edom and Babylon, which is America. Psalms 101 and verse 3. And I will set no wicked thing before my eyes. I hate the work of them that turn aside. It shall not cleave unto me. And Esau is clean contrary to the ways of the Bible, clean contrary to the ways of the Lord. Mikey Allen Nagab just did a video, a very good video, and the topic was, it showed on the screen how the Israelis is now a military superpower, which clearly makes them not fit the prophecy that's in the Bible, which they really don't care about. All right, because their book, their holy book, and their way of life is followed behind the Talmud. The Bible is a front for them. It's a cover. It's a disguise. And also, when you go into the Bible, if you go back into the 17th chapter in Kings, I'm not sure if it's 1st or 2nd Kings. Let me check real quick. But it tells you how when these people went into the land and they started keeping the laws. Yeah, it is. It's the second chapter. It's the second Kings, 17th chapter. Breaks down that whole history of when these other people went into the land of Israel, and then lions were coming to attack them and all sorts of things, and then they went and got a Levite priest and brought him in, and he taught them the ways of the land, and then all of a sudden the lions stopped attacking. So these people have been, and those groups of people included Hamites, Phoenicians and Amalek, and all these people, all these strangers were in the land of Israel, man. Okay? All these strangers were in the land of Israel, and basically that's what it is. So the Bible is just used as a front. Keep the wrath of the Lord off of them, which still hasn't helped because that's why the land is barren. You know, it's the Fertile Crescent, but things won't grow there. They have to import almost all their food, man. And the curse is clearly said that they will be helpless and at the hand, scattered abroad, and at the hand of their enemies, man. And that they wouldn't have a way to defend themselves. That they will be the borrowers and not the lenders. Well, that's not the case with the Israelis, man. The Israelis have a very powerful army. They have their own banking system. And they also receive welfare from the America, the biggest welfare state on the face of the earth. All right. And meanwhile, you know, you got Edomite Americans so angry at Jake, at Negroes and Latinos. And the fact of the matter is that even in this country, they make up the majority of the people that are on welfare. And then their brethren, the Edomites over in Israeli, because the Jews are the same as you. They're no different. The Jewish people and the white Americans, so-called, are both Edomites. And one of the reasons why America is so hurt and so broke is because it finances this Israeli state, man. I think it's $600 billion a year. All right. That's where all the welfare and the tax money is going to them. All right. And then they set up all these laws to where you can't even speak about it, because just speaking about what I just said, that's not showing hate. That's just telling the truth. All right. That's the truth and the reality of what's going on. And you cannot speak the truth about them. Well, they'll refer to it as hate speech, and they won't do business with you. They're setting up laws to do that right now. And Texas just became one of the latest states to join into it. And I know that the citizens in Texas, the Edomite citizens, that a majority of them, they dislike the Jewish people because they know the truth about them. They know that history. Okay? Continuing in Psalms 101, let's jump down to verse 5. Whoso privily slandereth his neighbor, him will I cut off, and him that have an high look and a proud heart will I not suffer. And there's no one more proud than the so-called white man, because the so-called white man, his whole reality is based upon lies, and he knows it. And yet he will stand upon those lies proudly and hide behind them and create more to substantiate the lie that he already told. Okay? Verse 7. He that worketh deceit shall not dwell within my house, and he that telleth lies shall not tarry in my sight. All right, like he put his names on so many inventions that he didn't invent, and glorifies himself, man. All right. The monkey wrench being for one. The monkey wrench was created by the mighty Jack Johnson, the famous Negro so-called boxer. All right, who was a bane of their existence, man, because why? Because he beat up all their white champions and showed that they were not superior at a time that they were clearly saying that they were. He easily made bloody work and beat. Sometimes he could have finished fights early, but he let the guys last just so he can beat on them. All right, and then he would bang Edomite women, you know, and you know, there's no better victory than to bang the women of your enemy, man. Especially when you do them better than their own man could do them. And Esau has a problem with that, but it's true. Because, you know, I'm not really like, you know, one of them people who hardcore watching porn or anything like that. But second to that gay crap, the biggest selling porn is interracial porn. And the most popular interracial porn is white women with Negro men, so-called. All right? That's a huge industry. All right. And what was I getting to? Oh, Jack Johnson, about inventions. And Jack Johnson invented a tool, which is the number one tool in every toolbox in America, is the monkey wrench. He invented it, and that's why they called it that. All right. So there's nothing but racism and hate that you're going to call a very important tool that almost every mechanic and every handyman and every contractor has in their toolbox, and you call it a monkey wrench. All right? So Esau just, and I'm sure that Jack Johnson's family probably gets nothing for it. Just like the guy Lattimore who did the filament for the light bulb, man. Edison gets all the credit. You ask any student in school who invented the light bulb, and they're going to tell you Edison. No, it was that dude Lattimore, man. A so-called Negro who actually won the court and case. Well, whose name got put on it? And who gets the glory for that? So that's what the so-called white man does, man. He is a liar. The same lie we're talking about. Verse 7 again. He that worketh deceit shall not dwell within my house. And he that telleth lies shall not tarry in my sight. And I will early destroy all the wicked out of the land. And I may cut off the wicked from the city of Yahweh. So they're going to get in the city of Yahweh is over there in Israel, man. So all those people are going to be destroyed, man, and rightfully so. Okay? This is Psalms 75 in verse 10. All the horns of the wicked will I cut off, but the horns of the righteous shall be exalted, man. All right? And who's the righteous, man? The righteous is the Israelites. Okay? That's it. The righteous is the Israelites. A couple more scriptures. For such as be blessed of him shall inherit the earth, that he be cursed of him shall be cut off. Esau is that cursed race, man. The seed of Cain. Esau came back as Cain, man. All right? And then mark of paleness got put on them as a curse, so that you will be able to identify who they are. All right? That curse of paleness. That pale flesh that they refer to as white. Just like the curses of slavery, being broken, being on the bottom, and being the victim of these lies was put upon the land of Israel, upon the people, Salakia, upon the people of Israel, who got scattered, and their names were changed into bywords. All right? The Israelis don't fit that. Israeli means citizen, a citizen of the modern day state of Israel. Well, an Israelite is actually the descendant of Jacob, the actual people. Okay? So, let me go check this precept before I read it, and this will be the last one. And we'll just continue on with this lesson, man. All right? Which was inspired by the brother Yashawamba about a week ago, the video that he did, when he was talking about how Esau ignores all the scriptures in the Bible, which are opposite of love. It's the ones that talk about slavery and calamity and all that sort of thing. All right? They ignore those. Yeah, this is Proverbs 3 and 33. The curse of Yahweh is in the house of the wicked. All right? The house of the wicked is the Edomites. Who can and it's just so ironic and funny that one of their biggest heroes is also the link to their downfall, because they praise Alexander the Macedonian so much. Why? Because when he took over the dark race of people that were in the land of Greece, when he took over those dark races of Europe and the pale people got dominion, all right, that was the first time that they came into greatness. That's why they love him, and they got dominion over the earth at that time. That's why they love him so much, but it's just so ironic, man. Hey, Yahweh's got a sense of humor, that their hero is also their downfall, because through him, you can easily, and through him in the Bible, hence the reason why the Apocrypha, remember, the Apocrypha means to be sent away hidden. Why they removed this out the Bible, but Proclamation Pt18, 1983, year of the Bible, Ronald Reagan, the King James Bible is the true law of the land. And when Donald Trump got elected, they actually read scriptures out of the Apocrypha, man. So Christianity is a joke, and it's finished right along with Esau, you know, the Edomite, man. It's over. So let's finish this scripture. Proverbs, let's read it again. 3 and 33. The curse of Yahweh is in the house of the wicked, but he blesses the habitation of the just. All right? And the just is the Israelites, man. Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. Shalom.